Hey, we are back with the legendary Paul Booth. Paul, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
So I was just listening to a little bit of your background music during that last video. What have you got going on in there?
Oh, let's see. Well, I got an album coming out in a few months. Dark ambient stuff. It's kind of meant for artists, meditation kind of shit. I basically make music while I paint. So,
Oh, right on.
yeah.
So, do you play instruments on this album? Did you do the whole thing yourself?
Yeah, it's all me. It's keyboards and digital synths, and kind of a hobbyist, I guess.
Do you put like samples in there? It sounds like rain or like dragging of some sort. What's
I use if there's any samples I use, it's usually something like babies crying or something like that.
nice and soothing?
Yeah, yeah.
So, is that the kind of stuff you listen to while you're tattooing?
Yeah, I don't really listen to a lot of stuff with lyrics. I like to zone out. So I basically listen to a lot of dark ambient music when I work. Helps,
So,
yeah, create.
you've been tattooing for quite a long time, over 20 years, right?
25 years.
25 years. Did you think 25 years ago that you would be where you are now?
I never really thought about it. I just tried to keep up with things. It's been an exciting road, but I never really had a plan. I just kind of did my thing and went with the flow. I had a feeling I'd still be tattooing in 25 years, but I didn't know any of the other stuff. So,
How did you first get into tattooing?
not a very exciting story, really. I got my daughter's name tattooed on me and kind of needed to know how to do it. I was really intrigued by the process, and I got an apprenticeship back in the day, and just started tattooing, and spent 3 years doing traditional stuff, Tasmanian devils and hearts and roses and stuff like that, and
Nice.
broke out into my own, and started doing freehandish kind of stuff. Um, that's about it, really.
Did you have a pretty typical old school apprenticeship?
Oh yeah, I cut acetate stencils and mixed color and pigment and made needles and mopped the floors and emptied the ashtrays and all that stuff.
What are some of the differences that you've noticed from, apprenticeship 25 years ago to some of what you see going on these days?
Um, are there even apprenticeships anymore? I don't really know. Well, there's obviously more kids coming out of art school and getting into tattooing, which is pretty cool. A lot of talent now that I wasn't around then. Um, it's pretty exciting to see the evolution of the craft.
Do you think there's anything missing in the way kids are learning these days?
I wonder about ethics sometimes. Doing a tattoo that's going to look good in 10 or 15 years, or at least making that a goal.
Uh-huh.
I see some amazing stuff. Don't get me wrong. Some of it I think is not going to stand the test of time, but some of it I think is an excellent, like as I said, an evolution. So, but it's always been that way. It's just a higher grade of that way. Uh, there's definitely a lot more going on now. I think that I'm not sure. There's not a lot of tattoo history anymore. A lot of these kids don't know the past and who came before them and what they were doing back in the day. The old timers and that sort of thing. A lot of innovators that are unheard of these days.
Some people would say that you're an innovator yourself, and I would say just about every tattooer I've ever spoken with knows exactly who you are. So, so it's still out there. There's still
Yeah.
still sense of tradition there. Have you ever had an apprentice yourself?
I had two that never really made it. um,
You're a little too hard on them,
yeah, I guess so.
making them clean the toilet with their tongue and stuff.
No, I actually, I have. It's hard to devote the time to an apprenticeship. From a teacher's point of view, it's kind of difficult to really devote the time necessary to create the monster that you're looking to create as a teacher, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of back off these days, you know. Plus, I've been burned in the past and kind of gun shy. So,
Well, you've seemed to recently, at least, that in the last few years, surround yourself with some really great artists at Last Rites.
oh yeah, I've always had strong crews.
Yeah.
You know, I'm real proud of the people. We got some new guys coming on soon. I'll be announcing in the near future, so I'm pretty excited.
So who's at your shop now?
I've got Logan Aguilar. He's a local artist here in New York, and Stefano's here when he's in town. But that's about 1 week every month or two, really.
I know he's been painting a lot.
Yeah, he's been painting his ass off for a show here, actually.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're all excited about that.
Coming up on July 12th.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Cool, excellent.
I know Jose Perez is with you part-time too sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
Jose, I never really did part-time guys before, but I had these guys like Jose that want to come out like 1 week every month and hang out and tattoo, and so I kind of said, let's do it. You know, why not? No big deal. I got the extra chair, so and it's nice to have a revolving talent coming through the place.
So you've recently moved in a new space?
Yeah, we've been here about 3 months now at our new location. It's 3 floors. You got a big spiral staircase between the 3 of them, and we got the art gallery, of course, on the street level, and then the basement is the tattoo crypt. And, upstairs is a mezzanine, and my office is up there where I tattoo. So we have a lot of fun here. We're getting a lot of positive attention, a lot of walk-in traffic. The old place was kind of up on the 3rd floor on a desolate street, and you know, you had to know us to find us, and that was fun for a while, but the gallery needs a stronger presence to really expose the art to people. So,
What led you to want to open a gallery in the first place?
actually, as a tattooer, it really started for me as I would walk into galleries in New York in my early days, and I'd want to buy art, but I'd be treated like shit because I didn't look like a buyer, you know, and I never found a gallery. Well, there were a few, but it was hard finding a gallery where people would just be nice, you know, and that kind of pissed me off. That and, well, not these days, certainly, but back in that day, the minute anyone in the art world heard you were a tattooer, they didn't want to know anything about you. They didn't consider you an artist. You know, we were kind of a joke back in the day. And that infuriated me too, because being an only child, I kind of hate to be told no. So, so I decided, yeah, I'm going to open a gallery someday, and it's going to be more of a family environment where there's no need to be pretentious, and it's kind of a community for like-minded individuals, you know, that appreciate dark art and what we're all about. So it's been working out well. A lot of our fans and friends really appreciate our approach, and we're turning a lot of people onto new forms of art within the genre that we're in.
I think it's great. You know, you're not going a gallery like yours. I can go see things that I'm really interested in, as opposed to some of the contemporary art galleries I've been into, where it's just, I don't know, whitewashed, plain. I don't get it. It's just,
yeah.
You know.
I find that darker art, like what we show, has a lot more substance to it. You know, it has more emotion packed into it because it's coming from a lot of times the darker side of the artist's psyche. You know, and they're exploring their depths, and it's cool to give them a showcase. You know.
So, you've done some pretty cool conventions in the past. You produced a few. Do you have any plans to ever do them again?
Actually, I'm considering it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a big production company I'm friends with, that we've been talking with each other about the idea. I'm not going to say it's definitely going to happen, nor am I going to say it won't. Honestly, the only way I'd do it again is if I had a strong production team, because those days were hell. Spreadsheets and politics and bullshit, and you know, none of that stuff really exists so much anymore. So there's a lot more freedom to make it what you want, you know. So you may see a show from me in the next year or two. If not,
That would be amazing if we could. That's for sure. Um, how about traveling on your own, other shows yourself? You do much of that at all?
I'm not doing as much traveling as I used to. I'm kind of a homebody now. I work on larger projects at home, tattooing and painting. I still tattoo, even though people don't believe that. I just don't post like I should, really. But I I really I don't know. I enjoy being here, painting and that sort of thing, making my music, whatever it is I'm doing. Traveling's got, you know, I spent better part of 20 years traveling the world, you know, and it was awesome. I've seen a lot, and I'm very fortunate. But these days, it's like going on tour with a band and sleeping in a bunk on a bus. You know, I'm too
Right.
old, fat for that. I do maybe 3 or 4 shows a year now.
Stefano has got a show coming up in partnership with Inked magazine in June. You're going to be there.
Yeah, I'll be there for sure. Looking forward to it.
You're going to be tattooing.
Yeah, I might paint too. I don't know. It's kind of it's a home show for me. It's obviously local, so I know I got a tattoo to do on Friday. I haven't really booked Saturday because I'm thinking about just sitting there and painting. You know, I don't know why I have that in my head, but I feel like doing something a little different. You know.
I think that would be cool, man.
So, but who knows? I just don't know. I don't really have a plan.
And we're going to talk again at the expo on stage.
Yeah, cool.
Have you done many live interviews on stage before?
I think 2.
Yeah.
I'm not great in front of large groups of people, but I'll give it a shot.
We can just pretend it's me and you. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So you did a show at the Giger Museum?
Yeah, I did a few years back. I had that was my first solo in 10 years, I think. I don't do a lot of gallery shows. I should, but I never know if I'm going to have enough time to paint a whole show. So that one, obviously, when I got asked, when Giger asked me to show, how could I say no? I mean, they're very honored to be able to do that. So I painted my ass off for 6 months. You know, I didn't have a lot of lead time. Usually you need about a year to put a show together, but we made it more of a little bit of a retrospective of my older work as well. So I was able to put a balance in between stuff I did 10, 12 years ago up until recent stuff and new stuff. I think I painted like 6 new pieces for that show, and went over really well. We had we kind of overran the little village with people dressed in black. So yeah, it was a lot of great support and a great experience.
Do you have any documentation of that? Is there any video out there? Or?
You know, I got some video shot that I keep talking about editing together, and one of my projects that just isn't on the top of the heap yet.
Yeah, you got a lot of projects going on right now.
Yeah, well, I just finished the music is getting mixed now and mastered, so that's done. We just started a new community and a website, and kind of trying to get that rolling, but it's new, so you know it's pretty fresh. And a few other projects I can't really mention yet.
Sure, I understand.
So you know, but there's always something going on here.
So when your music's done, where can we get it?
Well, it's getting shopped to distributors right now, so with any luck, it'll be on the shelves. We'd like to have a Halloween release for it.
How appropriate.
I got a good buddy of mine is what would you call it? He does all the label services and that sort of thing. Basically everything a label does. But I don't have any interest in signing with a label, and my music is so uh, hard to place that I don't know. It doesn't fit into any real categories, so it doesn't really. It's not something that's going to be on the billboards anytime soon. So,
So you mentioned a new website.
oh yeah, lastrights.tv. That's we put everything together in one site: our gallery and a tattoo studio, and a community built for like-minded people that appreciate dark art. And
So when you say community, is there a forum?
yeah, it's kind of like a dark Facebook, really, and yeah, profiles and all that. It imitates Facebook a lot, but now that we've got it launched, I want to take it in new directions. I'm not looking to be Facebook by any means, but I think it'd be cool to have a place that can do what Facebook does, but for people that are more on the same page, more of a private group, not necessarily private, but
Not trying to post everything about themselves every minute of every day.
right, exactly. Something more about art, both tattooing and fine art, and something that you're going to meet more people there that are into the same things you are. So that's what it's always been about, and hopefully it'll take off. If not, it's cool. But at this day and age, I don't know how online communities really survive with crap like Facebook out there. But it's changing so quickly. Who knows what happens next?
I think it just kind of all breaks up into different smaller communities. Everyone kind of finds their niche and just smaller. So you've been doing dark art for, as long as forever. Are you still inspired by the same things that inspired you early on? And what keeps you excited?
Well, I would say my contempt for mankind. No, I'm inspired by all the fucked up shit I see out in the world. I'm inspired by the disturbing things. That inspiration doesn't necessarily have to come from a positive place. Inspiration can come from anything, and I avoid the news because it just infuriates me most of the time. But I get inspiration from art, of course. We have a gallery where I have new art in here every month, and walking through it and always seeing this new art coming through here is majorly inspiring. So that's a lot of fun. That's probably another reason I opened a gallery, so that I could be around so much more of it. And meet a lot of new artists that way, and through the gallery. So it's been very, very beneficial for me as inspiration goes.
So Bob Tyrell credits you a lot with kind of getting him in the direction of what he does. Do you remember the early days of tattooing Bob?
Oh yeah. I remember 2.5 days sitting, sat like a rock. That was before he was tattooing. I did his back, and I think his back and his sleeve. Or when I did his sleeve, he was just getting into it.
Was he still the guy that he is now then?
He's a bit crazier now. Still the nice guy he always was. He was always, I think he was a cabinet maker or something.
He was a countertop maker.
Countertop.
Yeah.
And he played in a band.
That's right. He still had dreams of being a metal rock star back then.
Yeah. Plays guitar like a motherfucker, so.
He sure does. I've been fortunate enough to get to play with him. I played on stage with him at Hell City.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I've never seen that live. I look forward to one of these days. I want to get
it's a trip
these days. But,
well, make sure you go to Columbus because it's fucking hot in Phoenix, man.
is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix in August.
Oh wow, yeah.
When you wear all black,
yeah.
it gets hot. But there's a lot of pools. Keep it cool. Well, I really appreciate you talking with us. It's been really good talking with you, man.
All right, thanks a lot for calling, man.
And I'm looking forward to talking with you in June at the Empire State Tattoo Expo.
Cool, excellent. Look forward to it.
And we'll talk more then.
Okay, man. Take
Thanks.
care.
Thank you.